How would China perceive itself internationally? The Second World Conference on China Studies is now ongoing in Shanghai on October 13th to the 15th. Amidst the chaos of regional conflict in some parts of the world, the potential fragmentation of many existing international cooperative organizations, and the continuously renewed trade issues between the United States and other countries, this conference seems to be exceptionally important compared to its previous sessions. Due to the advanced development in the West in the past few hundreds of years, most of the studies on China in the world were done by Western scholars. They put China under the international circumstances and developed systematic studies on China. Inevitably, these studies on China from the Western perspective, but have been adopted and inherited by mainstream schools around the world. I was especially impressed by two scholars, Dr. John Kim Fairbank, the renowned historian from Harvard University, and Dr. Jacques Genet, the leading sinologist on Chinese studies from College of France. Both of them have very intensive studies on China and have created their schools on studies on China's history and civilization. In recent years, more and more Chinese scholars have found that from academic perspective, China doesn't have the tradition to study itself from a global perspective. Although China did have its written history, most of them are based on local Chinese perspectives. For example, in the long tradition of Chinese history, Chinese people have no concept of the world, but concept of tianxia, which is very abstract. If Chinese people don't have comparison to its understanding of China, there will be little chance that they can identify its own characters. Now, European-centered China studies would have more and more participants from China. This is expected to largely help people all over the world to understand China, while let Chinese people to perceive China as part of the world. I checked the media reports, and it is said that the main theme of this year's conference is Historical and Contemporary China, a Global Perspective. This echoes the trend of the field of China studies combining Western and Chinese scholars both. They are expected to use the languages and methods that both sides are capable of to discuss issues. This would help China itself to understand itself from more by dimensions to help the rest of the world understand China more precisely. In all, you have to let people understand what you mean by using the languages, and they can understand it. This doesn't only literally refers to languages, but also the way of thinking and expressing.